So Kamala and Trump, they had their first debate.
When you look at her answers, she had those answers on every talking point down pat to the point where the emphasis of the exact syllable of the exact word was literally perfect. And she kept that perfect record of delivery through the entire event. From my extensive experience as being a speaker, I can tell you for sure that you cannot be that good without being aware of what's coming. So I don't know how they prepared. I'm not going to sit here and make accusations. I think the reason that we're seeing the polls favor Trump post this debate is because everybody has gotten wise to the fact of how much they're willing to manipulate, lie, and cheat to create the desired outcome that they are looking to create. What is up, guys? It's Andy Frisella, and this is the show for the realists. Say goodbye to the lies, the fakeness, and delusions of modern society, and welcome to motherfucking reality. Guys, today we have, for 2 days in a row, we've got Andy and DJ
Cruising the motherfucking internet.
That's what CTI stands for, cruise the internet. This is where we put topics of the day up on the screen, we speculate on what's true and what's not true, and then we talk about how we, the people, have to solve these problems going on in the world. Now, as always, there is a fee for the show. I'd like to remind you, we are always dealing with traffic throttling, shadow bans, content removal, censorship. And so we need your help to get the message out. And I make a deal with you guys. The deal is I don't run ads on the show, and you help us grow the show. All right? So don't be a hoe.
Share the show.
All right.
Hey.
Get right into it. What's up with you?
Nothing much, man. Beautiful day.
It is nice out.
Yeah, it's a nice day outside. Yeah, man, what's got a lot to cover, a lot to talk about today. It is a back-to-back special for you guys. Let's just get into it.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. I thought it was very important. I wanted to bring this topic up, obviously, the day of recording. It's September 11th, marking a day in history for this country, 9/11, 2001, obviously. So we got that, and there was a big gathering in New York City. Trump, Kamala met again a couple of hours after the debate. We obviously will be covering that here shortly. Joined by Biden, Giuliani was there. I believe Batman was there as well. Bruce Wayne, the old school Bruce Wayne, was his name? The guy who played Bruce Wayne in the Batman movie?
There's a whole bunch of them.
Like the first one.
Michael Keaton?
Okay, second one. I don't know. One of them.
Wasn't it Michael Keaton? Then it was George Clooney. Then it was Christian Bale. Yeah.
Christian Bale did really good.
He's a good actor.
I forget the name. It was like one of the old school Batmans.
Anyway.
But he was there front and center for some reason.
Okay, well, no one cares.
But yeah, that. And I do want to bring this up. Like I said, I mean, it's very unfortunate. It's a dark day in our country's past. And I think this day has been taken, you have people on the left, they've compared, January 6th to this day. They've compared, it's just dumb stuff. And I mean, it is important, but I also want to bring in something too that I think is also important. The kind of signature tagline of this day is never forget. And I think there's a lot of things, that happened since that day and because of that day that people have actually forgotten. One of those things being, and I mean, again, it's very important people don't forget this stuff, but like the Patriot Act was brought in because of this day, which was supposed to be this temporary measure and, used to bring down terrorism. But we all know that it's been exposed plenty of times. This is being used to spy on us.
That's why they have a thing called the domestic terrorist list so that they can use the Patriot Act against the United States of America citizens.
And anybody who, and like what makes a domestic terrorist? Anybody that does not agree with the current thing.
Well, now what it is now is it's the patriots of America that they consider domestic terrorists.
Right. Right. And I think it's so fitting, the Patriot Act, but like it's being used
against patriots.
Actual fucking patriots, man. So never forget that. And I think it's, I mean, even stuff.
I think there's a lot, dude. I think there's a lot that people forget. I think people forget that we invaded a country and killed 1 million people over there who were innocent because of the lies that the cabal came up with. Okay.
For 20 years,
it wasn't just George Bush. It was the cabal. And then on top of it, what they did was they kept us in Afghanistan. They kept us in the Middle East for, like you said, 20 years. And people don't understand why they do that. Well, they do that because that fuels the military industrial complex, which boosts their financial status and makes all kinds of money for people who are making these decisions, while your kids and your dad and your brother and your sister and your moms and your daughters go to fight these wars that mean nothing. Mean nothing. And you wonder why the rest of the world hates us. The rest of the world hates us is because we're the iron fist of the globalists, and we have been for a very long time. When there's a problem somewhere, who do they send? Oh, they send the Americans. And then they sell us this bill of goods that we're doing something to protect freedom or protect democracy, which we aren't. We're fighting battles for money, for tyrants, killing innocent people all over the world for not our benefit, for their benefit. And it's not okay. And I think Americans have woken up to it. I think it's very, very important to recognize that the people who go to fight these battles, those people are heroes. They're doing what they're told. It doesn't take away from the suffering or the sacrifice or the things that they've done. I honor those men and women at the highest respect level. I'm talking about the people at the very, very top who organize this ridiculous shit. And, then we have situations where, they've used the entire excuse of terrorism to lock down and further the security state here in this country, like you mentioned with the Patriot Act.
TSA.
TSA.
Fucking groped in the fucking airport to fly in this country.
Yeah.
When, you could go down to the southern border and just walk across with no strip search, no x-rays, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just dumb shit like that, man. It's insane. And I think the important thing is, and again, I mean, we're talking about 3,000 plus Americans were killed on this day. That happened. Nobody's saying that did not happen.
Of course
right?
that happened. I watched it.
It fucking happened, right?
Yeah.
The problem is, and where I get irritated is that when you learn that our own government will use these situations to justify tyrannical fucking rule over its citizens, that's exactly what happened. And you take that, and that is an undisputable fucking fact. The Patriot, I mean, there's plenty of examples here. But the problem is, I feel like it should make people wonder and question, like, okay, if they can use situations that happen, to further tyrannical rule, at what point does that cross over to they will create situations to further their tyrannical rule?
That happened many years before 9/11. 9/11 was a manufactured tragedy.
For sure. And there's a lot of truth. And we're not trying
You're going to tell me that fucking Mossad and the CIA didn't know this was fucking coming? What about the $3 trillion that disappeared the day before? Donald, people don't understand this, bro. I was 20 years old when this happened. Okay. I was an adult. Donald Rumsfeld came out the day before 9/11 and was like, oh, we're missing $3 trillion. The next day, 9/11 happens. No one talks about it ever again.
Or the building itself didn't have fucking insurance on it for years before. And then
the dude buys an insurance policy 4 months before and makes fucking $5 billion. Building number 7 just collapses on its own. Nothing hit it. Nothing happened to it. Okay. Like, bro, listen, here's the real talk. This was an act of terrorism, but it wasn't exactly the terrorists that they told us it was. It was the terrorists who understand what they were trying to do of putting our country into a total surveillance state, moving us towards communism. They abused these adjustments and these rules that they made that were supposed to be temporary every single day against the United States American citizens. It's wrong. And it doesn't take away from the people who died. And it doesn't take away from the heroic acts. And it doesn't take away from the people who served during this time. They all believed they were doing the right thing. But the people who orchestrated it, they're the same people who are running shit now.
Never forget, man.
And here's the other thing I'll say to this too. It does bother me how all these people will post, on 4th of July, they'll post something. On Memorial Day, they'll post something. On 9/11, they'll post something, and they'll say something like, thank you for your sacrifice and this and that or whatever, right? But they won't fucking voice their opinion about anything going on in the world. They won't say anything. They will only do it when it's socially acceptable.
When it's safe.
Yeah, when it's safe. And they all know what's going on because they voice those opinions in private. And the reason that we're here where we are is because people won't voice those opinions in public. So you should think about that. You know, what I think about when I see people that post on those days is like, where were you the rest of the time? Where you been the rest of the time? That's what I think. And furthermore, how many of these people who are saying, oh, never forget, thank you for all your sacrifice, you know, on Memorial Day and 4th of July and all this shit. How many of these people are just living like shit? Yeah. They're not honoring the sacrifice made at all.
Right.
It's all a bunch of fucking yip yapping.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll let you in on a little inside secret too, guys. You know, it's always safe to speak your fucking mind when you just fucking speak it.
Well, what people don't understand, bro, is that freedom is only freedom when you exercise it. That's how you maintain it. You don't maintain it because it's awarded to you by a government or a figure of the government or a law. Freedom is only maintained to the amount that we exercise it. If we don't exercise our freedom, it naturally gets encroached upon and becomes less and less free. And so, you know, people have to understand that by staying quiet, you're voluntarily giving up the ground to people who want to take our freedom away. And if you would just speak up and tell the truth and say your opinion like you're supposed to, you know, as an American, Americans have a reputation for being badass, standing for what they believe.
Loudmouths.
Yeah. Live up to the reputation, because that's the reason we stay free. We don't stay free because some politician votes us or makes a Supreme Court decision. We stay free because we exercise the freedoms we have, which is they've made a lot of people afraid to do, which is creating a situation where our freedom is being diminished every single day.
Yeah, guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know down in the comments what you guys think. Where were you guys at 9/11/2001? Let us know down in the comments. With that being said, let's get into our headlines. Remember, if you want to see any of these pictures, articles, links, or videos, go to andyfrisella.com. We can find all of that stuff linked there for you. With that being said, headline number one. Got to talk about it. We had a little sushi date last night. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
It was,
you know.
It's good.
Got to share some chopsticks.
Yeah. Play some chopstick, not to be confused with tummy sticks. Chopsticks, different thing.
We watched the debate. So Kamala and Trump, they had their first debate, maybe their last. I don't know. Let's talk about it. There's a lot of interesting things happening here. Before we get to our, let's just go through this a little bit. I do want to say, I think the first thing that I think people are honestly kind of overlooking it. And I think men, when I show you this clip, you guys will definitely understand the power play dynamic that happened, but I don't think enough people are talking about it. I want to get your take on it. And this happened within the first 10 seconds of the debate. It's when they walked out on the stage. Let's check this clip. Let's watch this.
Kamala Harris. Let's have a good debate.
Nice to see you. Have fun.
Thank you.
It's very, very simple.
Uh-huh.
That's a man thing. I like real men, I think, understood what just happened there. That was a massive power play that she fed right into and lost.
Uh-huh.
Like, he made her come to her. He had to redirect.
I think that could be viewed as two different ways. I agree with you. That's what was the play on his mind.
I definitely think that was his play.
I also agree that I also think that people who are viewing that from another perspective could see that as she's being assertive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, they can argue that.
Well, listen, dude. All the women who vote for Kamala because she's a woman, they love that because they said, "Oh, look, she's not afraid of him. She's being assertive." That's how they read that. So just because you and I read it as what we did, there's a opposite side to read that too.
I also think too, she just sounded dumb. Like, you don't, like, he knows your fucking name.
Yeah. Well, then
Kamala.
Yeah, another thing is he didn't give his name because he said everybody knows who the fuck I am.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
I just think there was some like psychological power plays
for sure.
That's in the first 10 seconds.
Of course, but I mean, I don't think she necessarily came off as looking stupid there.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, 100%. I know, but you also, like, you know, I'm just telling you, there's two ways to look at everything.
I get it.
Yeah.
I'll just play it. No, but so you have that. Now, before we get to the rest of this, let's see what both sides had to say about the debate first. Trump released a statement. Trump's campaign released a statement on this. It reads, President Trump delivered a masterful debate performance tonight, prosecuting Kamala Harris' abysmal record of failure that has hurt Americans for the last 4 years. Quote, "We saw President Trump lay out his bold vision of America and how he would continue to build upon the successes of his first term by supercharging the economy, securing the border, and stopping crime from ravaging communities across the country. Conversely, Kamala's vision of America was a dark reminder of the oppressive big government policies of Joe Biden that she wants to continue. High inflation, a porous border that allows criminals and terrorists to flood across, and being soft on crime. That is what Kamala represents. The choice could not be more clear. President Trump was the clear winner tonight, and he will win for America when he returns to the White House." So that was a statement issued by President Trump's campaign. Let's see. I mean, whatever. Let's see what Kamala had to say. So this is from Kamala's campaign, Kamala HQ on Twitter. Was this just a picture with a couple of headlines? How Harris rattled Trump and dominated the debate. Harris dominates as Trump gets defensive. Kamala Harris dominates Donald Trump in debate. And that was it. And I mean, a picture of her doing the seal clap. Now, there were definitely some funny points there. I know I had some favorites. I know you had some favorites. I think my favorite one was when she tried to interrupt him, because there were some mic issues where she didn't get her mic cut off completely. But he had to check her, and he said, "I'm talking now. Sound familiar?" Pulling one of her verbatim plays that she did in the 2020 debates. That was one of my favorite ones. What was one of your favorite parts, comical wise, of the debate?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs.
I said, oh, fuck. They're not eating the dogs, man. It's the ducks. He didn't even say ducks. He did say cats, though.
Yeah.
He did say cats.
I think they're eating whatever they can get.
Yeah. Now, last night, like I said, Andy and I, we had some sushi. We were watching the debates together. I think very quickly, we both kind of at the same time almost got to this, she was way too prepared for this debate, in my opinion. All right. And when I say prepared, I'm talking we have plenty of evidence of this woman speaking in public. Mm-hmm. We got 4 years at least. Mm-hmm. And every single time she is talked to and given any type of question on the spot, it's nothing but word salad. Mm-hmm. I didn't see that last night.
No, I didn't either.
I didn't see it. And I had a bunch of other friends too, hey, what's going on? The first thing out of their mouths was, dude, do you think she was fed those fucking questions?
Yeah.
Right? Now, I woke up this morning and there was a bunch of, there was the interesting conspiracy theory. I love conspiracies. We're both loyal to the foil here. I do think it's interesting. Now, I don't know if she was fed these questions ahead of time, but there's also this conspiracy theory. I'm not sure if you've seen it. This headline reads, "Conspiracy rages among Trump supporters following presidential debate as viewers question Kamala Harris's earrings." So apparently there's a company that has a Kickstarter page going called Nova H1 Audio Earrings. Okay, this is a screenshot straight from that Kickstarter page. It is a pair of earrings where Nova claims it's the first and only wireless earphones embedded in a pair of pearl earrings on a gold or silver-plated clip. And they look exactly like the ones that Kamala Harris had on last night. Now, I don't know if she had an earpiece in. I think it could be something very easy and simple that
Those are Tiffany earrings?
Mm-hmm. That she just got, the questions ahead of time and Trump did not. Nonetheless, it was definitely a fucking 3-1 tag team play here on Trump. I think everybody can see that. And there's evidence of that, ABC News fact-checked Trump 7 times. They never fact-checked Kamala once. Despite there were 21 plus false claims and hoaxes that Kamala Harris made during that debate. We'll go through a couple of them here quickly. The first one, she brought up that very fine people bullshit narrative that has been debunked 1,000 times.
Yeah.
The Project 2025 hoax bullshit that the left loves to keep bringing up, that is Trump's Project 2025, which that has been debunked countless of times. The false claims on the Trump trade deficit. Harris claimed the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit that was, quote, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. That is patently false. The trade deficit climbed to around $653 billion in Trump's final year as president, in part because of depressed global demand for U.S. goods and services and a U.S. economy that recovered sooner than most other developed economies. But the trade deficit never rose to the levels seen under former President George W. Bush or the trade deficit levels of the current administration. They actually have the highest trade deficit in the history of America right now. Other things, the dictator on day one, the bloodbath thing they brought up. There was a claim she made also, too, about, there was not one troop in any war zone. That is inherently fucking false. There are currently active duty U.S. troops deployed in Iraq and Syria who have been under frequent attack by Iran-backed militia forces over the past year alone. There's also thousands of active duty sailors deployed to the Middle East who are facing attacks by drone strikes and missiles fired by Iran-backed Houthi forces in Yemen. Just earlier this year, 3 U.S. soldiers were killed on the border of Syria by Iran-backed forces. So that's inherently false. One of my favorite ones that she mentioned, and the last one we'll note in this article, is that taking guns away. Harris claimed that she and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, are not taking anyone's guns away. That's false. Harris has campaigned on banning AR-15s and other guns that Democrats label assault weapons. Just as recently as 3 weeks ago, during their first campaign event together, Harris and Walz pushed for a ban on AR-15s and other guns.
She said it 4 or 5 days ago after the shooting.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. She tweeted it.
Yeah, that's right.
She tweeted it. Now, you check the headlines. And again, they're all over the place a little bit. It was Donald Trump's night in the worst possible way. But here's an interesting thing. The polls are now coming in from all over the place. Reuters, out of all places, they had a focus group where undecided voters leaned Trump 2-1 after the debate. C-SPAN, 75-25, going to Trump about who won the debate. Wall Street Silver, a very, very powerful Twitter page. Donald Trump to Harris, 83-17. Insider Paper, 59-35. Leading Report, 90-10. Newsmax, 93-6. And if you need more evidence, look at the stocks. I don't know if you saw that this morning. Stocks plunge after presidential debate and higher core inflation the moment they opened up this morning. Andy, what do you got on all of this?
Well, look, dude, I think there's a lot to this. First of all, Kamala definitely was well prepared.
Polished.
Whether or not look, dude, I'm a professional speaker. I've been one for over a decade. I get paid a lot of money to speak. I know how to speak, and I'm very good at reading people who know how to speak and evaluating their skill set. And when you look at her answers, she had those answers on every talking point down pat to the point where the emphasis of the exact syllable of the exact word was literally perfect. And she kept that perfect record of delivery through the entire event.
The entire time.
Okay. So from my extensive experience as being a speaker, a highly paid speaker, I think I'm paid more than almost fucking anybody. And I'm definitely paid as much as these big politicians to speak. Okay. I could tell you for sure that you cannot be that good without being aware of what's coming. So I don't know how they prepared. I'm not going to sit here and make accusations. I don't think the earrings were a real thing, because even if they were repeating what for her to say, she was saying it. The delivery was almost perfect.
The flow was so good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And that's not something that you can do on the fly in a debate discussion. It's just not. No. And I don't care how good you are. I don't care how good you are at this. So in my opinion, in my speculative opinion on this, there was an unfair advantage with the preparation. I also clearly see that there was an unfair advantage with the moderators and the way they were debating Trump along with her. That was obvious. And I think the reason that we're seeing the polls favor Trump post this debate is because everybody has gotten wise to the fact of how much they're willing to manipulate, lie, and cheat to create the desired outcome that they are looking to create. And when she gets on there and she starts saying things like, we're not going to take guns, when 5 days ago she's saying, let's take the guns. When she gets on there and they say all these things that sound moderate, when for the last, fucking decade, she's said nothing but super far left progressive shit.
Complete opposite.
Yes, complete opposite of what she's saying. I think all that does is bolster support for Donald Trump, because people are looking at it and they're saying, bro, it's just more of the same shit. Like, they're railroading this guy more. And the more they persecute and the more that they stack the cards against him and the more unfair they are, the more they're opening up the eyes of the general public to see what's actually going on. And they've actually started to create a martyr or an underdog out of Trump, which is the worst possible situation for them, because in America, people love underdogs. And even if you don't like Trump, even if he's not your kind of guy, when you see someone just getting hammered and hammered and hammered and lied against and cheated against and unfair advantages and shot at and persecuted and all these things, eventually people who even really don't care for Trump are like, bro, fuck this. This is fucked up.
Yeah, it's how most Americans feel about like the Dallas Cowboys. It's very equivalent.
Sure.
Example.
So I would have taken a trophy for that one. But the point of it is that, like, dude, they've created a martyr out of this dude, and the more they throw at him, the stronger he gets. So while there's no question in my mind that Kamala Harris performed better at the debate, I think the fact of how they made her perform better is not lost on the American people, which is reflective of the polls that are being produced now. And I think, President Trump did a really good job replying. It's very hard to debate against someone or be in an argument with someone who's willing to flat out look you in the face and lie very confidently. And all of you have been in a situation like that before, where you've been arguing with someone, or there's three people and you're trying to make a case, and the other person just straight up looks at you in the face and tells a blatant lie and says, that that's the truth, and it's totally made up. And when you get in that situation, that's a hard thing to compete against, because for someone who's not aware of the actual data, the actual statistics, the actual situation, if you were an uninformed viewer of this debate, it would appear that Kamala just destroyed him.
Right.
But I don't think that's the result. I think the result is that it opened up people's eyes to the excessive, because there should be no bias, but the extreme amount of bias from the media. Like you and I are watching it, right? And like, we know that the very fine people thing is a hoax. We know that Russia's a hoax. We know, like, a lot of these things, like the one thing they tried to say is that Donald Trump left them with the worst economy ever. And it's like, bro, you fucking, like, they think people forgot that the Democrats and the media and everybody was pressuring him to shut the country down. And in fact, when he turned the country back over, the jobs were already recovered. And so these people are trying to claim, bounce backs as growth. And they're doing the same thing with their financial reporting, with the reporting on interest rates, with the reporting on job growth. We've seen a number of situations over the last 3 years where they've estimated job growth at X, and then it comes out 3 months later in a very small segment on the back page of the internet that says, oh, it wasn't actually X, it was actually 1/4 of X, right? And so they're drastically overestimating the statistics on the front end and then not telling people on the back end. And so there's a lot of deception going on. And if you aren't familiar with it or you don't follow it, which a lot of people don't because they're so busy trying to survive, we end up in a situation where she appears to be dominant. But I think Americans, bro, at this point in time, and I think even Democrats are to the point where they know that these people are legit Marxist communists, and they are willing to say anything to get elected. And that's what we're seeing Kamala do. She's going up there. She's saying things that are against what she used to believe and what she still believes. And we had Bernie Sanders come out and say that. Bernie Sanders came out and fucking basically said, yeah, dude, she's just saying that because she wants to get elected. And after she gets elected, she's going to go right back to the same shit. And I think Americans understand that. And the data that's coming out seems to suggest that they do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think, and one thing we said too, bro, like, I don't think anybody that, before the debate who was voting for Trump, I don't think any one of them.
I think that's the bottom line.
After the debate are not voting for Trump.
I think the bottom line is nobody's changing their votes.
Yeah.
Now, there might be some people who are independent who are now like, fuck, I got to vote for Trump because they're, and that's what we're seeing where we have 2 out of 3 or 2 to 1 on the independents. But, that's because these people are recognizing what's actually happening here the more that they try to deceive. And I think it's good that they think they won the debate. I think it's good that they think they did because that means there's less of a chance for some major fucking black swan disruption. But I don't think they're fooling anybody. And, they did accomplish their goal, and their goal was to create a believable scenario where the race is much closer than what it actually is. And I think anybody who watched that debate last night would be convinced that it's closer after watching that than what it is. So I think that was their goal. I think the goal was to make it appear as if these two people are close so that they can fudge the gap.
Cheat, bro.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, and me personally, like, even with just like how they're doing these debates now, this is the first time in history that these debates have been held in the format that they are being held.
Yeah.
I want to go back, not too far back, but I want to go back to where like literally presidents would, like these candidates would pop up in the middle of the fucking cities, fucking put pop up fucking podiums, bro. And
listen,
speak to the fucking
they can't
people.
do that. They can't. The Democrats cannot have a live crowd because she can't lie the way she's lying with a live crowd.
With real Americans.
That's right.
who are
Because
actually fucking hurting.
like, dude, if you really want to do this, how it should be is you have a live crowd. Okay, you have one conservative moderator from, let's say, Fox.
Mm-hmm.
You have one Democrat moderator from ABC, whatever, right? You have 50% of the crowd. The tickets are available for Trump. 50% are available for Kamala, okay, which she won't be able to fill. And then you do the debate. And there's no turning the microphones off. It's a fucking debate back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And if that were the scenario, I mean, dude, Trump would crush this lady.
Bro.
And not only would Trump crush it, the crowd would crush her because when she started bringing up, the very fine people and what was the other one that you said she had? I mean, it was a lot, dude.
Yeah, she did a lot.
A lot of these old
shit.
Yeah, Project 2025, the bloodbath comment, which was an economic focus comment. Like when she would say this in front of a crowd, you would hear the crowd boo her.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't do that because they can't lie
They can't risk
confidently with a crowd standing right there. So that's what's happening. And dude, I don't think Trump should agree to do another debate where there isn't people there.
Yeah. Yeah, this like, closed off. No, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how that went because I'm just telling you, dude, like, because I don't know if they got the questions ahead of time, but my first thought was she's had these questions.
Right. I think that's honestly, I think that may even come out within the next couple of weeks.
I could see that too.
Where
someone blows a whistle and
yeah.
says, hey, this is what actually happened.
It was some fucking, 52 gender fucking person working for ABC.
Yeah.
Accidentally sent the fucking question. Like,
yeah,
I could see that coming out, and I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
because again, like we have too much evidence of this lady days before this fucking debate
being a total airhead.
She
right and saying
word salads, bro.
Saying the opposite shit of what she's saying on the debate stage. I think she's just discrediting herself more than anything, and I think the more she tries to win the moderate vote when everybody knows what she's really about and everybody's experienced what this woman's really about. I think she's telling on herself. I don't think anybody's changing their vote away from Trump to vote for Kamala. And I don't think anybody who's hard set on Kamala is going to go vote for Trump. But I do think that the libertarian type people and the independent people are starting to realize the importance of their vote, because I think what's happening there, bro, is they're watching her and they're like, holy shit, this lady's saying anything she can to get elected. What's she going to do when she gets in?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
how can you have confidence in that?
You can't.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Guys, jump in on this conversation. Let us know what you guys thought about the debate down in the comments. With that being said, let's go check some of these comments out. Let's go cruise the comments. This first comment comes from Herb J. Smith. Herb J. Smith.
Herbie.
Good old Herb.
Oh, Herbster.
Good old Dick Twist. He says, can you post links, please, and data to your non-factual data?
Yeah, we do that every show. It's on the website.
VP Harris has never had an approval rating at 27%. I hope you guys realize he's telling BS. You can easily Google any of this and find out. You know, it's funny, Herb, because I did that. I did that. Favorability of Vice President Kamala Harris in the United States as of August 24th. Let's zoom in on here for you, Herb. Andy, what's that say?
That says 27%.
27 fucking percent, you piece of fucking shit, Herb.
Herb.
Fact check. And that's a fact.
Jack.
Like, what the fuck did you Google? I Googled.
Dude, it's even, it was before, when she was vice president, she had an approval of 27%. So it hasn't changed.
At least 40% of the country fucking hated her.
Yeah. Yep. So there you go, Herbie. The old Herbster.
Now this next comment.
Why would you debate when we actually post the data on our fucking show on our website every show? We
don't miss, bro.
These people always say source.
Yeah.
Source.
Okay.
When they haven't looked at any of the data at all. They haven't looked at anything. They haven't, bro, it's not my job to source every bit of information. Maybe you should just go look and realize that your point of view is inaccurate. Like, I hope you guys realize he's telling BS. Well, anybody who's listened to the show for the last 4.5 years realizes that I've missed, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 times total. So I don't know, Herb. But I know you guys think that I'm a not intelligent human, but I have a pretty fucking high IQ, and I have the world evidence to prove it.
Google that.
Yeah,
piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck, bro. Like, I figured out how to win at everything I fucking touch in my entire fucking life.
I've never met a Herb. Like, is that short for something? Herbert the pervert.
I mean, dude, listen, you're welcome to think whatever you want, but you just make yourself look stupid when you comment shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think what they hope too, bro, is that like nobody's going to actually go Google
I
it.
think what they hope is that people are going to back up and jump on and be like, oh, fucking burn them at the stake. Right. Motherfucker, you can't cancel me, bitch. Can't. You know why? Because I'll show up every day and tell you to fucking eat shit.
Eat it. This next comment comes from Rob Rose. Iron Whiskey Rob. This was actually a tweet by Donald Trump News. Mm-hmm. Do you support Robert F. Kennedy Jr. working in my administration? Yes or no? To which Rob Rose replied, yes. Add Andy Frisella too if you actually want to drain the swamp.
He's correct. He's correct. Listen, no offense to RFK. I like RFK a lot. He's coming on the show, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Few other big names coming on the show too, like some real big ones. But
just wait on it.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, we'll just let you see that when it comes. But I love RFK. I think he's a good dude. But you guys need some fucking hitters in there. You need some motherfuckers that are going to straight up wood chipper motherfuckers.
Some Babe Ruth.
Yeah, blame it on me, dude. It's my fault. We gave Andy
he
the
bought
keys.
The wood chippers.
We gave him the keys to the wood chipper, and he just went crazy. How much crime you got in your neighborhood? Yeah. None.
Mm-hmm. Oh. How many ducks are missing in your neighborhood?
Yeah, that's right. Did you see my training last night?
They might be missing because you might take them all and put them in your house.
Did you see my tactical duck training last night? I was training my ducks how to avoid Haitian barbecues. I was about to post a picture of you holding Daisy and be like, DJ's playing the part of a Haitian.
Yeah, right. Now, Duck, what do? Flap the wing, flap the wing. All right. Love it. Last comment comes from Nathan Vondra. You know what's better than the debate? The CTI episode that Andy Frisella is going to drop.
That's a fact.
Hashtag really F. That's a motherfucking fact. Yeah, guys, we appreciate you for all your comments. Thank you guys for being real ass
I love
fans.
when these people try to challenge me, and then it's like one Google search, and it's like, here you go, dumbass.
It's right there.
Bro, not only did she have what percentage did you think she had, Herb? What did you think?
It was 28.
No, no. What these people think is like, because
100%.
yes, because they watched the fucking MSNBC and shit. Bro, look, man, Herb, it's all right, man. If you really want to know what's going on, just keep watching the show, which apparently you are.
Well, there you go, Herb.
Herbie Herb.
Guys, we appreciate you for being real ass fans. Thanks for liking and commenting. Make sure you guys are subscribed and hit that bell notification on the YouTube to stay up to date with the latest episodes from Real AF. With that being said, let's keep this cruise moving. Headline number 2.
I love how people think I'm fucking stupid because I don't like wear a suit and tie and speak all proper.
Maybe we should.
No. I just think it's funny. It's like these people that don't know who I am or anything I've done, and they assume I'm some kind of fucking moron.
Yeah, I get it. I don't get it, but I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Like, how could you be one of these people that thinks you're smarter than someone when you have to go home to your shitty little fucking life and you're talking about how you're smarter than someone who's created all kinds of crazy shit for the world?
I know what it is.
What?
Facebook degrees.
I don't know what the fuck it
University
is.
of Instagram.
I know this, bro. If like my life sucked and I was like, you know, my shit was all fucked up, I wouldn't be thinking I was that smart.
Wouldn't be saying that much. Whatever you guys think it is.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, man. Guys, Andy, headline number 2. Let's dive into this. So, I mean, while the debates, that's obviously the big topic of the day. There's other things that are happening in our country I think we should be aware and privy of. The second headline reads, House GOP plan to avert government shutdown on life support as Johnson delays vote. Now, this is an interesting one that comes in. I've been monitoring this for a couple of days now. We basically have about 3 weeks left before a potential government shutdown. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson was forced to delay a House-wide vote on his plan to avert a partial government shutdown on Wednesday after a slew of GOP defections put the bill on life support within days of its rollout. So Johnson told reporters there would be no vote today on the measure, a short-term extension of this year's government funding called a continuing resolution, or CR, combined with the measure to mandate a proof of citizenship requirement in the voter registration process. All right, so understand this. This continuing resolution, this CR that's in effect right now that they're trying to get it passed and approved, okay, it includes 2 things. Government funding for the next 6 months where they finalize a budget on that, and then making sure that people who are voting in this election that's coming up are actual American citizens. That's it. And it's being fucking stalled by people not just on the left, because we call them out how we see them. There's fucking Republican people in our Congress supposed to be representing us that are now defecting and not voting or voting in the against for this fucking bill to pass. House leaders originally planned to hold the vote late on Wednesday afternoon, though as early in the morning, at least 8 Republican lawmakers signaled opposition. Conservative opponents on Johnson's right flank, who were largely against CRs in general, believing them to be an extension of overboard omnibus spending bills, which they oppose, accused House GOP leaders of trying to appease them with a messaging bill that would not ultimately be signed into law. Some GOP national security hawks were also worried of the bill's 6-month spending extension over its impact on military and other defense spending, pushing instead for a shorter spending patch into December. Now, they have to reach an agreement by September 30th. All right? If they don't reach an agreement by September 30th, there's going to be a partial government shutdown. One source familiar with discussions told Fox News Digital that they anticipate Johnson holding the vote next week, something the speaker also alluded to in his comments. Quote, "The American people demand and deserve that we do everything possible to secure the elections. That's what we've been saying consistently," Johnson said. "We're going to continue to work on this. The whip is going to do the hard work and build consensus. We're going to work through the weekend on that. In a shot at the bill's opponents on both sides, Johnson said, quote, "I want any member of Congress and any party to explain to the American people why we should not ensure that only U.S. citizens are voting in U.S. elections." So again, that's the big part of the bill. They're trying to make it about, oh, it shouldn't be a 6-month extension on the spending. It should just be a 3-month extension. They're fucking lying to you. They're holding this up because they don't want to ensure that Americans and only Americans are voting in this election. And it's on both sides. Former President Donald Trump had advocated for the 6-month CR attached to the Safeguarding American Voter Eligibility, or the SAVE Act. He advocated for that last month, urging House Republicans to leverage a shutdown weeks before Election Day to get it passed. He appeared to change his tune somewhat this week, urging GOP lawmakers to vote against the CR unless they were ensured of a non-citizen voting crackdown. Now, with all of that going on, again, we have at least, conservatively, 12 million illegal migrants in this country. We showed yesterday that just in one state alone, there was over 144,000 voters in air quotes, that are voting without ID. That's just in one state. We got 11 million to 12 million with people with no ID. Mm-hmm. These things are trying to happen in plenty of states. Mm-hmm. Not just swing states, it's blue states, states that potentially could even be red by now. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Right? And there's this weird passion that our people in government have about not trying to ensure that. Why would that be? Right? And they're doing everything they can to try to protect these migrants from, headlines like this. Republicans spread baseless slurs about catting and eating migrants in Ohio City. Right? Not to mention the shit that's happened in Aurora.
Motherfucker, I got videos that people are sending me from the fucking streets of these motherfuckers putting oranges on pigeons and eating them.
Can we show that?
Yeah, you fucking show that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like they keep pushing this nonsense. Like Snopes even has this picture of a dude walking down the street with a fucking goose, a dead goose in his hand. But they're saying that there's no evidence Haitian immigrants are eating ducks, geese, or pets in Springfield, right? Or that it's unfounded. Like you said, Andy, we have people sending us.
We have people sending us fucking videos of this shit. Okay, sending us videos.
This is a Real AF exclusive. Check this video clip out. This happened in Dallas.
Yeah,
check this out.
This woman is marinating a pigeon with a fucking orange
while it's alive.
That is a video that a listener took. Okay. Why in the world would our American government want people who are non-American citizens to have a say in the direction of our country? It's bad enough that people who are American citizens that don't pay taxes have a say in the direction of our country.
But at least they're American.
Do we really think that, like real talk, do these people really believe that we as American citizens are going to accept an election that is decided by people who have been imported from third world countries who are not American citizens? Do you think that the American citizens are going to accept that? I do not. And they shouldn't, and we shouldn't. The fact that these elite fucks are bringing in people who are not citizens, who are draining our tax dollars. That's your tax dollars, my tax dollars that we pay off the backs of our hard work for these people to come in and then vote for more of our tax dollars to go to them. The American citizens should not tolerate this at all. Every single senator or congressman that opposes voter ID or the elections being exclusively for American citizens should be removed from government by arrest. By arrest. Our military should arrest every single politician at national and state and county level that believes that non-American citizens should have the right to vote in any level of election in this country. The fact that they are willing to accept that shows their treasonous nature and that they have zero of our interests in mind and only their interests, because the only reason that they would want these people to vote is so that they can maintain power. And the reason they want to maintain power is because they want to keep the gravy train that is their career, that is their business, when they are ill-equipped to do anything else for a living, intact. And they also want to protect themselves from prosecution of the crimes that they have already committed, which are plentiful. All right. So any one of these people who is saying that illegal immigrants or non-citizens should vote are literal treasonous traitors to the United States of America and should be treated as such.
It's disgusting, man. I mean, like, do you really want people who fucking, put oranges?
Listen, dude. It's not about, until the American citizen stands the fuck up and says none of these motherfuckers should be able to vote in our country and be serious about it and start taking it serious. Like, and I'm talking about going to the polling station and making sure that nobody that is clearly a fucking illegal from somewhere else shows up to vote by force. Okay? Until American citizens do that, these people are going to continue to prey on every single passive American citizen that exists, which is most of us. Most of you won't even speak up, okay? Much less go to a voting booth or a voting poll center and make sure that there's not a line of 4,000 immigrants there to vote. Okay, this is our country. We don't allow people from other countries to vote. Go to fucking Russia as a non-Russian citizen and try to vote in their election, see what happens to you. Go anywhere and try to do that. They will fucking arrest you, if not put you to death. Okay? This is the only country in the world where they do this, and they've convinced you that it's somewhat normal. It is not normal. It is highly treasonous, and these people should be treated as the traitors that they are.
100%, man. Guys, jumping on this conversation. Let us know what you guys think down in the comments. We'll stay up to date with more information about the government shutdown in later episodes. But with that being said, let's get to our third and final headline. Headline number 3. This is one I wanted to wait on a little bit. It's very important you don't jump on headlines and events that happen. You want to give it some time for more information and facts to come out. So let's talk about this one. It's the sound of the police. Tyreek Hill says he could have handled his traffic stop better, but he still wants the officer fired. So let's dive into this a little bit. There's some interesting people jumping in on this conversation. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill acknowledged Wednesday that he could have handled himself better in the initial moments of a weekend traffic stop that left him handcuffed and pulled out of his car by police officers near the team stadium. Hill also said he wants one of the officers involved in the incident dismissed from the police force. Hill said he wishes he did some things, quote, a bit differently on Sunday morning, including leaving the window of his car down when officers instructed him to do so. He rolled up the window instead. The incident escalated quickly from there. Quote, I will say I could have been better, Hill said. I could have let down my window in that instant, but the thing about me is I don't want attention. I don't want to be cameras out, phones on you in that moment, but at the end of the day, I'm human. I've got to follow rules. I've got to do what everyone else would do. Now, here's the facts of the case. All right, he was driving an estimated 60 miles per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone. All right. You
got to keep that reputation up. It's the fastest man in the NFL, bro.
That's true.
You got to be fast at everything.
This is true. I'm just glad the car wasn't stolen. He had no, what?
What do you mean? That sounds racist.
Huh?
What?
No. I mean,
it's Tyreek Hill, man.
He is fast as
fuck. Yeah, he's big too, bro. That dude's a beast.
He almost went to jail. So
no, he almost got himself shot.
Yeah, that's real, man. Now, police estimated that he was going 60 miles per hour in a 40 mile per hour zone, so 20 miles over the speed limit when he was pulled over. He did receive some tickets, some citations for careless driving, the seatbelt violation. That's according to Miami-Dade Police Department. And apparently there was a high traffic of pedestrians and vehicles in that area where he was driving. Now, I have the body cam footage here. I think it's important. Let's watch the whole thing. All right. And then I got a very interesting person that jumped in on this conversation. So let's check the body cam footage out. This is from Miami-Dade Police Department. Here is the body cam footage.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Like what? Why you have it up? Put down. Hey! Keep your window down. Manny. Hey, keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me your ass, bro. Get out of the car. Give me your ass, bro. Break that freaking window. Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out. 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 What part of that don't you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
I'm getting out.
You understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you.
I'm getting
You're a little
out.
confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
Chill,
Too
bro.
late.
All right, bro. Take
Too
me to
late.
jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro.
We are. We will.
Good, bro.
It is good.
Hey, Drew. Hey,
Don't worry about it. I hang up the phone. You stop crying.
bro. Y'all
Don't move.
good. Bro, you
Sit 'em
beating
up.
on my window like you crazy.
Just set him up.
Why y'all beating on my window like y'all crazy for? Damn, yo, bro, dude beating on my window like he crazy. I ain't do nothing, twin. Dang. Hey, hold on, pull to the side, bro.
Hey, don't park there. Don't park there.
Hey. Hold on, bro. I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro.
I just heard you in your ears when we told you to put your window down.
Chill, bro. Hey, Joe New, bro.
Back up.
Hey, call Drew. Hey, call Drew, bro. Call Drew, Hey, call Drew, bro. Hey, what? Hey, call Drew, bro. Just call Drew. Hey.
I'm not doing nothing. What am I doing that's wrong?
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen. Hey, man, they got Tyreek. The cops over here beating on him, man.
Listen.
They over here beating on Tyreek,
Listen, big man, don't park there, man. Just get in the
Hey,
car.
Drew, you gotta come, man.
Just get in the car.
Who's that?
Right out the side, on the side of the
Entourage.
Hey,
that's a big
get in the
dude.
car. You're parked in the middle of the street.
I'm in the car.
You gotta go before you get a ticket.
Hey, you're in the car.
Who's the driver? This is my car. All right, move.
All right, I'll take that.
You gotta move right now. Let me have your license. You're gonna ticket too.
I'm coming.
Let me have your license. You're gonna ticket. Let me have your license.
I'm leaving.
I'm not playing. Let me have your
I'm
license.
leaving. Yo, what's
Your
going
license
on?
right now.
Sir, what's going on,
Your license
man?
right now. You're not gonna give me your license?
Get in the car and leave.
You're not gonna give me your license?
I'm leaving.
Let me have your
I'm
license.
leaving,
Your
man.
license right now.
Sir, you want me to
Hey,
leave?
your license right now.
I'm leaving.
Or I'm gonna lock you up.
just told
Your
me to
license
leave.
right now.
He just told me to
Your
leave.
license right now.
Sir, he just-
You're dealing with me now.
Sir.
Your license right now.
So that's a clip. Now,
There's a lot there.
there is a lot there.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. Do you want to do our thoughts, or you want to see who had something to say about this?
Now we can see what they say, and then we'll
So-
chime in.
An interesting person commented on this. Headline reads, Dolphins Tyreek Hill not blameless in incident with police officers. ESPN Stephen A. Smith says. He jumped in on this
Stephen A.
conversation.
Smith's getting more reasonable.
More reasonable, more palatable.
I used to really he was a very much so a huge race baiter for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he still is from time to time, but I'm getting more. I like the new Stephen A. where he's kind of like evaluating what the is up and not always making it that way.
Yeah, for sure. ESPN star Stephen A. Smith suggested that Miami Dolphins star Tyreek Hill wasn't excused from blame during the situation with police officers in Florida that led to his detention. Now, we just saw the body cam. Stephen A. Smith gave his opinion on the situation, saying neither police officers involved nor Hill are immune from blame. Let's check this clip out.
But when it comes to Tyreek Hill, we also can't let him completely off the hook based on the statement that was made by the police department in Florida. They said, quote unquote, he was cooperative. He was uncooperative. We have a responsibility on this show, in any kind of platform that we have, to make sure we're doing what we can to save lives, to make sure that we're doing what we can to ensure that somehow, some way you get to live another day and fight that battle. We know how wrong they were. The police were excessive. No excuses. They should be ashamed of themselves, the way they acted. They just went overboard. Totally true. Especially when it came to Calais Campbell as well, who did nothing and put his arms up. He was no threat whatsoever, okay? They told him to step back. He stepped back. He let them know that was his friend. Another teammate, Janu Smith, comes in there. He's by his car. He's on the phone. He's clearly not posing any threat. The police officers were definitely agitated. They were wrong. Here's the problem. We all came on the air seeing the initial footage in complete, unadulterated support for Tyreek Hill. You pull over. They tell you to roll down your window. What's the first thing Shannon just talked about? The first thing they do when they pull us over, they pull me over. All my windows are down. My hands on the steering wheel. That is not what Tyreek.
Bro, I do
Hill
that.
did. Tyreek Hill had his window up. The officer bangs on, knocks on his window. He didn't bang on his window. He knocked on his window. You hesitated to pull it down. The first thing you say is, don't bang on my window like that. Don't bang on my window like that. Don't bang on my window like that. He asked you for your driver's license. You hesitated to give him your driver's license. You said in the post-game conference, hey, y'all, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill? What if you weren't Tyreek Hill? What would have happened to you if somebody that wasn't Tyreek Hill kept the windows rolled up, hesitated to roll it down?
No shit.
Didn't give you the license immediately when you asked for it, and then hesitated to get out the car when they told you to get out the car. See, we got to be responsible. And the point that I'm trying to make is this. In no way should the officers be excused for what they did. I totally agree with you, Dom, every syllable. You too, Shannon, every syllable. But I also am saying, yo, Tyreek, yo, bro, you didn't deserve that. I'm not implying that you did. But the police officers do have the power. When they pull up on you and they tell you to roll down that window and they tell you to give you your driver's license and they tell you to get out that car, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, look, dude, that's I agree with everything he said.
Bro, you're in a tinted car.
Listen,
you can't
man.
see through the fucking window.
Well,
That's
I mean, listen, bro,
dangerous.
you used to be a cop. What do you think?
Yeah, it's fucking dangerous, man. Like I can show you 15 clips right now of police officers walking up to a fucking car with the window up, and guess what happens? The dude starts fucking shooting out the fucking car. I can show you 15 clips right now.
I can show you clips where the window's down and they do that.
Right? And so, I mean, they're not dude, follow directions. You have to comply. And this whole idea that you're going to try to make these arguments and try to go pat the cops, that's not the place to do it. That's not the place to do it. You do that shit in court, you can afford a good lawyer. Get a lawyer, take care of that shit in court.
Yeah.
But you're being a asshole, bro. You're being a asshole. And honestly, people want to say the cops escalated. Yeah, I mean, potentially the one cop who pulled, yeah, for sure. But that could have been way worse. It could have been way worse. That could have been an officer involved shooting.
Oh, for sure.
It could have been way worse.
Listen, man.
I applaud the restraint there because it could have been way worse.
All right. So I agree with everything you're saying. I agree with everything Stephen A is saying, which is super rare.
Yeah.
I think Stephen A makes good points, but look, dude. I think what Stephen A just said there is going to help save other black men's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because there is a cultural difference between how white people behave with the police and how black people behave with the police. And black people like to say, well, they like to look at a situation and they say, well, if that guy was black, he'd be this and this and this. But that guy don't act like y'all act when you get pulled over.
Right.
Okay? And I'm just being real, dude.
There's a narrative, there's an idea that we could do whatever the fuck we want.
Listen, man. Stereotypes are stereotypes because there's truth in the stereotype. All right? And when you're a black man and you're driving a awesome McLaren, by the way, 720S.
It's nice.
Tinted out, pimp as
As it should be.
Okay, and you're speeding through the neighborhood and you're not wearing a seatbelt, and the first thing you start doing when they come up to the window is mouthing off and all this shit, you're asking for trouble. And quite honestly, dude, I agree with you. I think he could have gotten way worse because of the window rolling up thing.
Dude, that's a dangerous situation.
Dude, for sure. We just covered that one where that guy was reaching for the fucking Draco in between his legs.
Right.
So, here's my take on what happened here. Tyreek's very wealthy guy. He is very famous. He's used to doing whatever the fuck he wants. Okay, because when you're rich and famous, people do treat you differently, and they kind of let you you kind of do whatever the fuck you want. And when it comes to the police, you don't get to do whatever you want. And sometimes I think people who are used to getting yeses don't like to be told what to do when police are telling them what to do, including me. I will say that those police officers you could tell they lost their temper. You could tell they escalated. That one guy in particular with the tattooed hands, the guy that pulled him out of the car and then put him in a neck restraint when he was standing on the sidewalk, not being a threat. That guy deserves some sort of repercussions for his actions. I don't know that he needs to be fired. But yeah, dude, I mean, I think both parties are to blame here. But if we're going to blame one party more than the other, it's Tyreek. Because, bro, you acted like an asshole. You let that rich and famous ego shit carry into a place where it's not tolerated and shouldn't be tolerated. Okay? You go into a restaurant, they seat you at the nice table. That's one thing. You're speeding through a residential zone, fucking 60 miles an hour and a 40 and a $300,000 McLaren, and those cops are making a fucking $85,000 a year. They already don't like you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's important, like when I get I've been pulled over 1 million times, dude. And, the last time I got pulled over, I think we talked about it on the show. I was speeding by a lot. And I was driving a LaFerrari and I fucking rolled both windows down. I got my gun on my seat. First thing I say, I got my hands on the steering wheel. I say, hey, bro, right over there is my carry gun. Listen, we need to do a better job communicating with the police that they are not in danger.
Right.
And if you do that, whenever you get pulled over, you deal with the police, you're going to have good interactions with the police most of the time. They don't want to have conflict. They don't want to have fights. They don't want to
go home, bro.
Bro, they don't want to chase nobody. They don't want to shoot nobody. Are there people who are assholes? For sure. But even the way that guy reacted, the reason that he reacted that way is because this guy, Tyreek, is making a dangerous situation out of something that shouldn't be.
Right.
And he's getting pissed because he's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And I know they all know who the fuck he is. He just gave him their license, right? So, look, bro, I think Stephen A. gave a really, a very responsible response, and it's very good for Black Americans because he speaks to a lot of Black Americans, to especially Black men. Like, bro, you guys can't let your mouth and your ego get you in trouble with these people. Dude, if you just make sure that you understand that when a police officer pulls you over, he's already scared. He's already nervous. He's already like, fuck. And you say, oh, well, that's because I'm Black. Well, yeah, because the crime data is fucking, you represent 12% of the population. Actually, Black males, 6%, 5%. You commit over 50% of the violent crimes. So they're just understanding the data. They understand that, like, dude, and you say, well, they're profiling. No shit. No shit.
I mean, even to that though, bro, like that McLaren's blacked the fuck out. They don't know who the fuck is driving that
my point
car.
is that, like, dude, like when people try to say shit like, oh, well, they just treated me that way because I'm Black. Well, that might be true sometimes because of the way that they've been treated before by Black men. So, like, we have to realize that, like, if we ever want this problem to resolve itself, there has to be respect on both sides. And if Black men want to stop being singled out by the police, then they got to start treating the police a different way than they've been treating them.
Right.
And dude, dude, like, it's like touching the stove. Like, you touch the stove, it burns you. You touch the stove, it burns you. You touch the stove, it burns you. And then someone walks in and says, hey, touch that stove. You're going to be like, I'm not fucking touching that stove. Right? Like,
no, but instead we say it's the stove's fault.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying, man. And it's, look, there's just so much bullshit in the world right now. We don't need either one of those things. We don't need a white or a black or any citizen making a cop feel endangered, and we don't need cops overreacting. And for that situation to heal, there's going to have to be a respect that is established for the police, because like Stephen A said in his monologue there, they have the power, they have the authority in that situation. And whether you think it's right or it's wrong, it's the truth, and they can take your life. They can take your fucking life. So legally.
Yeah.
So like, dude, we have to acknowledge whether or not we think that's okay or we don't okay. It's the reality of the situation. And when you roll your window up and create a situation, like, bro, had that been at nighttime?
Oh, man.
No, listen, had that been at nighttime, that same situation nighttime, he probably would have got shot. He probably would have got shot.
Bro, how much easier would the situation have
The
been?
fact that he didn't get shot or worse is likely because it was 10 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm. How much easier would that situation have been? You got pulled over. Oh, man, listen, guys, I'm sorry. I was speeding a little bit. I'm trying to get to my game. You know what I'm saying? Trying to go ball out
It would have
Miami.
been, it would have been, it probably would have, they probably would have said, oh, Mr. Hill, shit, dude, let's drive you down there.
Escort you down there, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so important, man. Like,
Yeah.
you got to control what you can control, and you can control you being a fucking asshole.
I mean,
That's
dude,
just my
look,
point.
I've dealt with cops that are total fucks.
For sure.
Okay, but I will say it's 1 out of every 100. And it's usually because they just got done doing some fucked up shit with some other thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
we're seeing some fucked up
yeah,
shit.
bro.
Yeah,
And like,
with.
dude, you guys can say, well, that's because you're not black. Well, maybe that's true, because you don't see white people having the same problems that black people have with the cops.
Well, on the other hand of that, though, I think there's
Is that not true?
No. Well, I think the difference is that definitely happens. White people get by the cops all the time. The difference is the response from the community, which also Stephen A. Smith.
That's a
pointed
cultural
out.
difference.
He pointed
Correct.
it out. He said, "Listen, we all jumped on the side of Tyreek."
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Bro, when whatever, when Kevin or Jake, you know what I'm saying, decides
Gets his ass beat by the cops. Here's what we listen.
There's
Dude,
no headline
it's a
about it.
fundamental cultural difference between black community and white community,
Yeah, man.
and it goes like this: when white community, when
Jake, call him Jake. I like Jake.
listen, dude, I got people I know and people I'm related to who have done some really stupid ass shit, criminal shit.
Mhm.
When they do that shit, I don't my judgment is not to automatically be like, oh, dude, he got by the police. My automatic response is, well, why the did you do that, you dumbass?
Fucking dumb to do.
Right. So, and most of white culture is that way. In black culture, it's the opposite. And they say, why are they picking on whoever, right?
Why is the stove hot?
Yes. And
Who the
dude,
fuck turned the stove on? Like,
and dude, we have to come to a realization that just because someone is a certain race or and dude, black communities do this inside their own neighborhoods too. They know who the criminals are.
Mm-hmm.
They know who's causing the problem, but they won't say shit because they're black. And bro, that doesn't solve anything, man. So there's a lot of issues that we got to solve. And in this situation, I think it was a little bit of him being rich and famous and getting his way to do whatever he wants. And I think it was a little bit of cops losing their cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think both parties are to blame. And I think they should probably shake hands and say, hey, I fucked up. And the cops should admit his wrong too.
Yeah.
But on the bigger scale here, I sure would like to see the black community learn something from this and the white community, which is make cops feel safe.
Yeah, I think that's super important.
Yeah.
Guys, jump in on this conversation down in the comments. Let us know what you guys think. With that being said, let's get to our final segment of the show. As always, thumbs up.
I mean, do you agree that that's the case in the cultural differences?
1,000%, bro.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think there's a few things. I mean, you got to be real about it too, bro. Like, I mean, this didn't start becoming a real true issue. This cop, black
It didn't happen until Michael Brown.
until 2014.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm
right.
saying? That's when the shit started fucking exaggerating.
Yeah.
And so, like, once we made martyrs out of people who were absolutely in the fucking wrong,
Yeah.
it gave this false sense of confidence that, hey, we can do whatever the fuck we want. And that's not the case.
Yeah.
And white people, I'm not saying that they don't try to do whatever the fuck they want, but when they do, they get fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, the statistical data is there. White people are just as more likely to get shot, if not more, actually, than black people are. Right? there's no fucking t-shirts made of them. There's no preschool pictures that are posted on fucking national headlines. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a false sense of confidence that
which goes into the identity politics, race baiting, division
100%,
shit
yeah.
of the bigger scale as well.
You know, so like there's this false sense of confidence that the black community has when it comes to law enforcement that like, hey, listen, you do stupid shit, you're gonna win stupid prizes. That's the end of it, man. And like to your point, I think we all have a responsibility, especially knowing the climate that law enforcement is in right now, bro. They're fighting with their hands handcuffed behind their backs. So it's like, why make a situation worse than it has to be?
Do you remember that time, like, before we were on YouTube, like this is probably back in 2020. Yeah, it was 2020 because it was when George Floyd happened. And you and I were watching that video and it showed the cops go by and the little black kid hid from the cops. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He hid behind the Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
And someone had said, well, this is what white privilege looks like. White kids don't have to do that. That's not true. Like when I was a kid, we hid from the cops too. We saw the cops go by. We were throwing rocks at something. We fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
bro, I duck when I hear sirens. Like
Yeah.
it's not. It has nothing to do.
bro,
with
I
it.
get nervous when I see a police officer behind me, and I'm perfectly capable of handling whatever comes my way.
But guess what? You should be nervous because you should. I mean, you shouldn't be nervous, I should say, but just don't do dumb shit. and
Listen,
you'll be all right.
I think the police community has a role in this too, man. Like, you guys can't just go around fucking forcing your shit on everybody like you're the goddamn fucking Gestapo.
Jumping on this conversation down in the comments, let us know what you guys think. With that being said, let's get to our final segment of the show. As always, thumbs up or dumb as fuck. This is where we bring a headline in, an article, video, something like that. We talk about it, and it'll get one of those two options. So with that being said, our thumbs up or dumb as fuck headline reads, this little guy is going to go places. Teen reacts to receiving his first paycheck from McDonald's. Let's take it to the bank then. Let's check this clip out.
All right, so we have my baby opening up his first check. He says it's gonna be $200.
200 something, man.
200 and something. So here we go.
What we looking at here? I'm trying to be careful with it.
That's not the shirt you wore to work.
No, I was wrong about that.
Oh.
They gave me another one, so now I got 3 of these.
Mm-hmm.
Man, goddamn.
So you weren't allowed to wear the t-shirt?
No, I wasn't allowed to do that.
Oh.
Let me see what this is. That's $283.
Oh.
After tax, what's that?
That is after tax.
Yeah!
Hey!
Oh,
Yeah!
That's hard. All right, bet. Let's take it to the bank then.
That's awesome, dude.
So let's take it to the bank,
Bro,
then.
you see that fucking smile?
How much is that after taxes? That is a oh.
Bro, I'll tell you what, man. There ain't nothing make you smile like making some fucking money.
Hey, man.
That's why I want you guys all to be rich. Because that shit is fun.
It is
Look at his fucking face, bro.
bro. He's ecstatic.
Bro, you would have thought Santa Claus just showed up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Or his dad came.
look at that smile, man.
Huh?
Look at that smile.
Oh, he's happy.
Oh, you said his dad?
His dad came back.
Shut the fuck up. Nah, that ain't true because his dad would take that 283. Bro,
No, that's awesome. though.
good for that young man, bro.
That's fucking
Learning what it is to go out and work for a living and be rewarded for it. And kudos to that mom for, teaching him those lessons and getting him going, bro. That is fucking awesome.
I love to see it.
I
man.
love the kid's face. Like, dude, that's the face I make when I make money too. That shit don't ever go away,
It's
dude.
universal.
That shit don't go away. That is the same fucking face.
Yeah. It's input and output, man.
Oh, bro, I love it.
I love it.
I love
I
that.
thought it was awesome.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. Thumbs up to that, man.
Yeah.
100%. Guys, Andy, that is all I got.
All right, guys. Don't be a hoe.
Share the show.